Okay.
Here we go. Hello. We're meal planning. We're prepping. I'm just going to go over some key things. All right. First of all, one of the most important things, the first steps is you have to figure out. Hi, Rayanne. Can you hear us okay? Can you hear us?
Could you go get my pen?
Yes? Okay. I just assumed she can. So you have to figure out what calorie bracket you fall into. So that's one of the first pages, page 4. You basically take your weight and you multiply your weight by 11, and then you take that and you add 400 because that's basically taking into account your workouts. So if you don't work out and you're doing the meal plan, you obviously need to factor that in and not add in that 400. So you need to cut back. I would say cut back on a carb and a protein if you're not working out. But I think most of you are working out, and so that should take care of that. And then you subtract 750. So that's going to be. I'm going to mute you guys so I don't get any background noise. So that's why. Raise your hand if you have questions. So all right. So that's how you figure out your calorie breakdown or your bracket, what bracket you're in. And so the next thing you want to do is you want to go over and see, okay, how many containers do I get? So on page 19, you see the different like columns. So I'm in the lowest bracket. So, and you know, there's honestly a lot of food. So if you are on a higher bracket, good luck because it's a lot of food. And there are ways to get some of this stuff into your diet in an easy way. For example, putting it in your shake. So like veggies, 3 cups of veggies is a lot since I used to not eat too many veggies. So if you've got 6 cups of veggies, I would say put a cup of spinach in your shake, and so make do with that. So, all right. So once you have your calorie bracket down, then it's a matter of figuring out, okay, how it's a jigsaw puzzle, basically. I look at it as a jigsaw puzzle. So I found my easiest way, and I shared this. I did an Excel spreadsheet, and I basically, at the very, very top, I put what I was allowed for each container. And then as I built my plan, it showed me on the bottom how much I had left. So that you can do that manually by writing it down. You can do it through, I shared mine as I made it a Google sheet. So you can use my Google sheet and make it your own, just copy it and make your own. There's also a 21-day fix app that you can track what you're doing. And so you know how many you've used for the day. So that is great too. So I would say use what works for, oh, okay. Anne has something to say. Yeah,
I do. Plus, you can keep me unmuted because there's nothing in the background to make noise. So the one thing I will say is I believe that 21-day tracker is only on iPhones. I've tried to get it on my Droid and
that's correct.
It doesn't seem to be available. So
that's correct. Yes.
Is it available, Jacqueline?
Yeah, I don't think it's available.
Okay.
I think you're right. Yes?
I was agreeing with you, Mom.
Oh, okay.
All right. So that's right. Yeah, My Challenge group tracker is available on both, but the actual 21-day fix tracker is only available on the iPhone. So good point. Plus, I think the 21-day I used it once, but I got frustrated because I couldn't figure out how to do something on it, and then later found out I could do it, but I just didn't figure it out right. But I think that's like as you go versus like planning ahead and then marking it off, right? So
I think so.
Yeah. So anyways, I like to have my plan laid out so I know what I'm doing. So the other tip that I would say is that you want to, whatever your favorite meal is, figure that out first. And then you know what containers are left. And then your Shakeology. So I like my Shakeology a certain way every day. So I know I want to have a banana in there. That's 1 purple. So I only get 1 purple left the rest of the day. So I know I got one purple and one. So purple is the fruit and red is the protein. So Shakeology, my Shakeology is 1 each of these. So I'm immediately down to of these containers from the get-go because I know I'm going to have that every day. And then so depending on what my meal is, and usually my dinners include a protein, a veggie, and a carb. So, but you know, it all depends. So don't overcomplicate it. I mean, I tend to, and this is just me, but I don't know how other people are. Recipes overwhelm me because you're putting in this and you're putting in that. And then you have like, you know, you have 4 servings worth. And then I'm like, well, how do I know I'm getting the right, you know, veggies and the right number of carbs and all that kind of stuff. So I tend to like to make my own, and it's more simple with my husband because he likes more of one thing than another. So, you know, like you can bake a chicken, you can cook some fish. You know, another good thing to have is like fajitas, because fajitas are peppers, onions, and you can have a good amount of vegetables with that. Grill some chicken. The tortillas, just one, you save a carb for your tortilla. And then you can put salsa is great and healthy. So try to get all natural salsa and not salsa that's loaded with sugar. And actually the salsa counts as a fruit. So if you're not a big fruit person, half a cup of this or this is a whole cup. So half a cup or half of a purple, which is half a cup, you could use salsa, and that's plenty of salsa to put on, you know, so that's another good thing. So those are some tips. But, so let me go over the containers. So in the beginning, you're going to be like, oh my God, what is this? What is it? What is this? And so just know that you're going to, within a week, you're going to know what all these things are. You're going to know the greens, veggies, you're going to know, you know, all the things. And you're going to, when you go out to eat, you're going to pretty much recognize how much a cup is and how much a half a cup is. And that's one thing where I always used to get overwhelmed, you know? So the veggie is at 1 cup. So, and this is 1 cup. It's the purple, it's the fruit. So that's 1 cup of food. It looks little, but and you can mash. So you can get spinach and you can mash that spinach down in there. If you don't like spinach, you wouldn't want to fluff it up. So, so you can mash it as long as the container can be closed. You can do that. Okay. So fruit, and you know, I'm not a big fruit person, so there's a lot of fruit. Just keep in mind a half a banana equals 1 of these because there's a lot of natural sugar in bananas. So this is a protein, and a protein is a 3/4 of a cup. So basically I think about 4 or 5 ounces of meat. So, and again, you have cut up chicken, you can push it down in there, you dump it out. It's a ton of, so that's the protein. This is a carb, and carbs are, as you know, we have to limit our carbs because carbs are really good for our body in terms of fueling it for exercise, etc. But you don't need a lot of it. You don't need a lot of it. And yes, Jacqueline.
Just a question. With like bread, how do you get that to work unless you want to smush your entire piece of bread in there?
Very good question. So 1 slice of bread is equal to 1 of these.
Okay.
And you can actually.
It needs to be whole grain bread, though.
Yes.
Yeah, I bought that.
Yeah.
You'd be so proud of me.
They have a little. Sometimes they'll describe it like for asparagus, it says 10 spears. So you don't have to cut up your asparagus and put it in a container. What I love is those the whole wheat sandwich rounds. They're thin.
Oh yeah.
And one of those equals 1. So you can actually have an egg sandwich and have 2 slices because they're so thin. They're equal to 1 slice of bread. So so that's a real good question. These are salad dressings. They have the best salad dressings in the booklet. I would recommend taking time and experimenting with them and making them. When I was I just finished a 21-day cleanse, and that particular salad dressing I used isn't even in the 21-day fix. And it was so simple and so easy. It was half a cup of extra virgin olive oil, 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and 1 teaspoon of honey. And it was so good. I ate that, and I still eat that every single day on my salad. Before, I used to put salad, like olive oil and balsamic vinaigrette on my salad. So these particular salad dressings are great because they actually are a little bit more flavorful. And so what I usually do is this is 2 tablespoons. So it's great for packaging stuff. So if you want to take your salad dressing, then you just fill it up and close it and take it with you, like to the office or whatever. So this is, I think, nuts and dressing is this. So the only problem is that I only get one of these. And so I have to pick whether I want nuts or I want dressing usually. But what I can do is have a smaller salad and have just half, like one tablespoon of dressing and then 1 tablespoon of seeds.
Hey, Lori.
Yes.
So the nuts themselves, like cashews or almonds or whatever, are actually the blue container. But for the orange one, the other thing that's on here that made it easier for me is flaxseed, but also other healthy seeds. And I have a super seed blend that I bought. So it's flax, chia, and hemp, and it's got a little coconut in there, which is also in here. And so I just use that little container. If I'm going to have a salad with dressing, then I only get half of the seed blend and put it in my Shakeology. And it actually thickens it up, which is kind of nice.
Right.
And then do the other half with salad dressing as well. Right. So that's one option too. Is if you're not going to use a lot of salad dressing, raw seeds, if you're a seed person, that works. But not everybody. And this was a tough one for me to figure out how to add into my meals, because you can't skip. You have to have all of the containers it tells you to have.
Yes.
And so that was an easy way for me to figure it out. I just throw that seed blend into stuff.
Awesome. Yeah. So skipping, like she said, you don't want to skip containers. I actually know that a woman was in a group with Autumn, and Autumn, she said, I didn't have any good results this week. I didn't lose any weight. And Autumn asked if she was eating all of her containers. And she said no, that she skipped a couple. And she said, you can't skip. You have to eat all of the food because you're working out. Your body needs that. So your body is going to burn calories at the optimum if you're feeding it correctly. So all of our lives, we're taught, look at the scale and, eat less because, you're going to gain weight. If you eat the right things and you pay attention to, your inches more than the scale, then it will work. So that's what this plan teaches you, which I love. So also what Ann said, yes, the nuts, different nuts are on different containers. So the larger nuts, I call them the larger nuts: almonds, cashews, peanuts, pistachios, pecan halves, and walnuts are all under the blue container, as is hummus, as is cheese, and as is avocado, for all my favorite things, and I only get one blue container. So,
right?
Yes. And I usually save my blue container for avocado on my salad because honestly, it's the best thing. So I pretty much don't eat cheese anymore. But, cheese is interesting because the blue container is pretty big. So you could have it, right? You could have half. So 12 almonds is one blue container. You could have 6 almonds and half of this thing of cheese. Splitting containers is the way to go because you get more choice if you split your container. So try to do that. The other thing that Ann mentioned was flaxseed. So sometimes if I'm low on my orange, I'll just put a tablespoon of flaxseed in my shake. That's another thing that you can do is with the flaxseed. So
and the one thing you guys need to know about flaxseed is if you're using the whole seed, it's not doing you any good at all. It has to be ground up.
Yes. That's a good point. If you put it in your blender, does it get ground up? Or probably if it's in a shake, it doesn't get ground up, right? Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So yeah, my actually son-in-law, he's a food science major. He told me that. So these are also great for carrying jewelry and pills. And you get 2 of them in your package. So you can carry your pills and then you can carry your salad dressing. All right. So these, like I said, these are 2 tablespoons. And then you also get a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons a day. Is it 2 teaspoons? Yeah, I get 2 teaspoons of something a day. So those are like oils and like nut butters, like almond butter. I love almond butter. So sometimes I'll use those 2 teaspoons. I'll put almond butter on an apple, which is really one of my favorite snacks. Or I'll put almond butter. Sometimes I'll do a shake with my almond butter in it. And sometimes I'll put almond butter on a whole wheat waffle. So those are some options with that. What else? Other hints. So then you just kind of start doing your meal plan. And then I usually have, since I have 4 proteins, every meal and 1 snack has a protein. So I have eggs for breakfast. I have chicken on my salad for lunch. And then I have some meat for dinner. And then I have my Shakeology. So that's pretty much how I do mine. So my other snack in the morning is usually something like some fruit if I need the fruit, or, depending on what it is. Sometimes I do like hummus and vegetable. I love hummus. So, but like I said, that's my blue container. So if I'm doing avocado, blue container is a quarter of an avocado. So I really can't make my avocado much smaller. So I do that a lot. One of my dinners that I like, which is really easy, is stir fry. So you get a lot of vegetables and you get like a meat. So usually you can do shrimp or chicken, whatever you like. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So back to salad dressings and salads. So one thing that you can do, if you only have 1 tablespoon left, say you want to use your tablespoon for flaxseed or you want to use your tablespoon for nuts, and you only have 1 tablespoon left for salad dressing, vinegars are free. So you can put red wine vinegar, you can put balsamic vinegar, you can put that on there. So if your salad's feeling too dry with just that 1 tablespoon, just shake some vinegar on it and add some of that. I love balsamic vinegar. So that is one of the ways I get around if I don't have enough. Yes. Joy. What? What?
Apple cider vinegar is good.
Yes, I think all the vinegars are free foods. Let me look at that.
Except for my favorite, which is seasoned rice vinegar, and it's not free because it has sugar and salt added to it.
Yeah. So free foods are water, lemon and lime juice, not lemonade, vinegars, mustard, love mustard. So yeah, definitely. Herbs, there's herb blends that she mentions. And what I would do is make some and put them in a container. And I have a container of one of the blends in my cabinet. So when I make fish or chicken that's just plain, I put that seasoning on it. And I've really learned that seasoning that a lot. So spices, except salt, because salt bloats you, so you don't want too much salt. Also, Himalayan salt is the best kind of salt to get. So if it's like a pink salt, I had to actually sprinkle that in my water on my cleanse and drink it 3 times or 4 times a day. Garlic, ginger, superfoods, by the way. Hot sauce. So if you guys like hot sauce, flavor extracts. So a lot of people put those in their shakes or your coffees. A lot of people have a hard time with this because they put a lot of stuff. I used to have cream in my coffee every day. I now drink black coffee with a little stevia. And I hated stevia. I never liked stevia. There's stevia in Shakeology, and I've always liked Shakeology, but it's kind of one of those, acquired tastes. And so now I don't like a lot of it. So I think that's the problem, I would use as much as I would use with my other, sweeteners. I used to do artificial sweeteners every day in my coffee. I mean, poison. I think I shudder when I see people eat those now. Yeah. And then, so like vanilla, peppermint, almond extract. So you can use those to liven up your food and your flavor in your food. So one of the things I want to do in this group is, we're going to share our meal plans. And I haven't been, honestly, let's get our meal plans up there. And, that's doing a disservice to you guys. So I'm really going to hold you guys accountable to put your meal plans up there, and that once a week. And I'm going to do the same. So I want people to get ideas from each other. And so seeing other people's meal plan, everybody's not going to like the same thing, but We might get good snack ideas. We might get really good and recipe ideas. One of the things I'm doing, so I'm doing the Countdown to Competition meal plan, which is the 21-Day Fix Extreme. So the 21-Day Fix Extreme is a little bit different. It's a little more intense for intermediate and advanced workout. And the meal plan is the meal plan. It is the 21-Day Fix meal plan, but alternatively, you can follow a competition meal plan. And it's what Autumn uses when she does her bathing suit competitions. And what you do is you do 2 days on of that, 1 day off, and the 1 day you use the regular 21-Day Fix meal plan. So my meal plan is going to be a little bit different than yours. And the difference is you basically are eating about 7 or 8 meals a day every 2 hours, and you're eating a lot of protein and vegetables and limited carbs. So it's really hard to get all that food in, and she eats a lot of cod. So I'm trying to mix it up a little bit, but there's things you're limited, like vegetables. The only vegetables I can have are asparagus, broccoli, and cucumbers on the days that I'm doing the Countdown to Competition. So there's there's things that you're not allowed to have. Can't have any fruit. I can't have any fruit. I can't have any orange or blue. I can only have teaspoon. So it is a lot limit. I can have string beans and peppers as well for vegetables. So coming at that meal plan is going to be, like I said, you're going to think that's weird. So, but I've labeled it real clearly. I worked on it this morning. I labeled it so it's Countdown to Competition days and then regular days. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm actually competing to be in an infomercial for the 21-Day Fix. So Beachbody's having a competition. So everybody who does the 21-Day Fix Extreme, the contest start date, you have to submit your photos before the July 7th and then submit them by the 28th. And then they'll be picking people for the infomercial. So I'm really excited. I'm the type of person I need to have something to compete for, to really get me excited and get me focused. And so I'm really excited. After doing the 21-day cleanse, I feel like, all right, I can do this. If I did that, I can do anything. So does anybody have questions? And can you think of anything I forgot?
Not really. I think having everything written out ahead of time is really helpful. You sent me your spreadsheet, and I just printed out blanks. So some of them I printed black and white, and some of them I printed color, just because I started printing in color, and I'm like, I know what the columns are, and I don't want to waste my color ink. So then I started printing in black and white. So carrying it with me, because I'm provided free lunch at where I work. Because part of my job is I have to taste the food there, so that when my residents ask me about it, I can honestly look them in the face and say, yes, I eat it every day. But I bring mine to keep track of my portions. So, and I'm really careful about what I choose. I almost always don't choose the carbohydrate that they have unless it's a sweet potato. Mm-hmm. So carrying that with you. The other thing too is carrying it with me on the weekends. The weekends are my toughest challenge, I think. And that's where practicing this at home and really using those portion cups is going to help you when you're not home and when you're out at a friend's house or at a restaurant, because I do a lot of stuff on the weekends that involve going out, and that makes it a little challenging. So getting familiar with the portion sizes is really, really, really important, and you will find really quickly, actually, that you get it down. One of the easy things to do is compare the cup to the size of your fist, because you've always got that with you, and it's not going to change size, not even when you lose a lot of weight. So compare it, know that, okay, one purple one is just slightly bigger than my fist, and a red one is the same size as my fist, and that kind of thing. That way, that gives you another tool to use when you're not at home doing the measurements. Because you're going to find yourself thrown into situations that you're like, oh, I didn't plan for this. So,
I would recommend investing in a little insulated container to carry. In my car, I also always have almonds in my car. You don't want to go more than 3 hours without eating because then your body goes into starvation mode. Believe it or not, after 3 hours. So if you're somebody who I have a lot of people who come to me and I like, what do you eat for breakfast? Well, I don't usually eat breakfast. I just drink coffee. And then at lunchtime I eat. And I'm like, that's the worst thing. And you know what, Jacqueline, you're going to have the best results. Because when you start working on a plan where you're feeding yourself breakfast, the weight just comes off. And if you don't like to eat breakfast, force yourself to eat breakfast. Your body will thank you. It's a mental thing.
Well, that's why I start with the Shakeology, is because that's my favorite part of this.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, if I have to eat first thing in the morning, I'm going to do something I really like.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I do that. And then right about now, I would be eating my breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'm busy right this second, so I'll wait till we're done.
Yeah.
But, I also have never liked nuts. So that's been a real struggle for me.
Yeah. So one thing I learned on the 21-day cleanse is to roast my own nuts, pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds. You just heat up for like 5 minutes. They start popping. Sunflower seeds actually produce a lot of oil. You don't even have to put any oil in the pan. They just start popping. Oh my gosh, they are so toasty in the salad. I loved my salad. I had this great salad during the cleanse. It's my favorite part, and I'm going to continue to eat it. But and then when you put your dressing on, it sizzles, and it's so good. So pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds, if you just roast them for a few minutes, if you have the time. I think you can also buy them roasted. You have to be careful they're not salted and stuff. But so adding them to a salad really gives the salad. I like crunch too, so I don't know. Some people don't like crunch, so it gives it a little bit of a crunchier feel. So insulated bag in the car. Carry something if you're desperate and you haven't eaten. So I'll eat 6 almonds, which is a half of a blue. And then if I have a blue later in the day, or I'll just cut it back to half. Sometimes you have to improvise and you got to adjust. I did a blog post once about, this is my meal plan, and I did a picture of it. It's all scratched off and cut through and all that, because the best laid plans. So don't worry if you start on Tuesday, something changes on Wednesday or Thursday, you got invited to go somewhere, or you have leftovers that you want to eat before it goes bad. Just adjust your meal plan. I honestly cannot do something on Sunday that I plan to do on Friday. It changes. Life is full of change, and you got to just adapt and adjust. You don't try to be rigid on this. Just be flexible, but just follow up. And I just make sure every night you look at your meal plan for the next day, and that you have that plan for the next day, so you're properly prepared. Okay, so I think that is all that I wanted to cover. Would you guys like to do this on Saturday mornings? Because I can continue to do it. We could touch base on next Saturday and say, okay, where are we with our meal plans? What did you struggle with? How can we adjust? Would you guys be interested in doing that? Okay.
Maybe.
Hi, Rayanne.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Are you able to fall? Rayanne was in my last group, but she life happened big time for her. She had some major life
stuff.
Yeah. So are you focused now, and
I am.
Feel you can do it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Do you have any questions? Your couch looks really comfy.
It is comfy. And you're on a way different time than me. So it's I just got up. It's Saturday morning.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, Anne and Jacqueline, and I think Joy's an hour early. Are you hour or 2 hours, Joy? Oh, I can't hear you.
An hour.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if Texas is all 1 hour, or if the west part. You're on the west part, right?
Yes, it's all central.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we're 3 hours earlier than you.
I know. Yeah, I'm 3 hours into my Saturday. You guys are just starting. So.
Yep.
I was concerned about we're going out of town to visit one of our sons this upcoming weekend, and there's out. So
Yeah.
I feel like after my husband's going to do this with me.
Okay.
After 5 days, we should be able to have the portion sizes down and know.
Right. And I will say, Autumn might slap me, but I have had great results from a cheat meal. So sometimes when your body, has the same stuff and you kind of hit a plateau, just go and eat a hamburger and a few onion rings, which I love. And then just one time, it's not a cheat day. It's just a cheat meal. Have that. And then your body, it's crazy. But so I believe in cheat meals. I believe that, this is a lifestyle and you're never going to be perfect all the time. I like, chocolate. So, the other thing I should mention is any of you people who like wine, you can have wine on this plan. It can fit in this container. So, and you can't have two. You can save them up and have them 2 in one day. But you're supposed to have 3. You can substitute 3 glasses of wine a week for a yellow. So, so if you really like your wine, you can have wine on, Wednesday, Saturday, and Friday, or whatever you want. So, but you have to take away yellow from your regular meal plan to do that. So that's great if you can do that.
Done.
Yeah, done. The other thing, just because, and honestly, there's calories in and calories out. There's a lot less calories in greens than there are in these thingies. So that's why you get 3 of these and you get 1 of these. So, so wine is, a glass of white wine is 124 calories. So, you have a couple of those and, you're screwed really with your diet. So, or trying to get ahead with, your weight loss. Okay. So one more thing I wanted to mention was, what was it? I started thinking, almond milk. Big lover of almond milk here. I use plain unsweetened. My husband uses vanilla unsweetened. So, it's a preference. But I will say, the meal plan says you can substitute 16 ounces of almond milk 3 times a week. So Autumn actually addressed this, and Autumn said you can have almond milk every day. She basically said 6 to 8 ounces every day. It's not going to really hurt you to have that. I actually cut back I do 4 ounces of my almond milk and 4 ounces of water. So that's what I do every single day. I do 4. And so I have a little bit of almond milk. I don't have a lot. But what you can do, since you're allowed that 16 ounces 3 times a week, you can split that 16 ounces however you want. So you can do 4 a day, which is actually 8 days, or you can do 8 ounces, so basically, again, just figure out what your needs are. If you really like that almond milk in your shake, don't sweat over it. You really don't have to count it, honestly, is what Autumn said. Autumn said she had to put that in there because of the nutritionist. She worked with a nutritionist on the booklet, and the nutritionist wouldn't budge on it. But Autumn said, hey, it's 8 ounces of almond milk is 30 calories. So it's not a lot. It's not going to derail you. So my thing is, if you want your 8 ounces, maybe the first week, do it with 8 ounces. If your results aren't what you wanted them to be, then cut it back to 4 ounces and do 4 ounces of water and 4 ounces of almond milk. This morning I had 4 ounces of almond milk, 4 ounces of water, half a banana, and then there's some Shakeology Boost products, and I add those. There's greens, digestive health, and focus energy. You can add those. You don't have to add those. I like to add them, and so my shake is so creamy and smooth and awesome. I didn't need 8 ounces of almond milk. So I've adjusted to just having the 4 with water. Is everybody here are using water or using almond milk?
Water.
Depends on the day.
Water.
Like this morning I used the milk, but
Yeah.
I usually do water.
Rayanne, are you mixing it with anything?
I just got mine yesterday.
Okay.
So
Yeah, so I would start with water, and then if you think if you like your shakes creamy, a banana really make sure it's half a banana. You know, that's 1 serving of, you know. So, but yeah, bananas help make it creamier. But I would try to start with water, and then if you want it a little richer or thicker, then add a little bit of almond milk.
okay.
All right. The other thing is coconut milk. Coconut milk's on there. I think coconut's a blue as well. All the good stuff is blue. So you can use a little bit. Sometimes I use like half of a cup of almond milk, and I know they have coconut and almond milk blends, but coconut milk thickens it up as well. So they have these spoon straws at Bed Bath & Beyond. They're so cute. They have little spoons on the end of a straw, so you can suck it and straw it, and then when you get to the bottom, you scoop it. And I actually gave those out as a prize in one of my groups. I found them. I put them in my kid's stocking for Christmas. And I was like, ooh, I want some of those. And so I bought myself some. But they're a lot of fun. And they're great, you know, especially if you're traveling with your shake in the car and you want every last drop. You don't have spoons at hand. You can have those. So. Okay, well, I don't want to take up any more of your time, but I super, super appreciate you joining. And I'm really excited about the group. I think it's going to be a really fun group. We got a lot of lively people. And I have 2 great coaches that are brand new that are helping me, who have a lot of their own experience. Darren, I don't know if you all have seen Darren's posted a lot. She's actually a life coach, and we met on Facebook. And so this is kind of a great, avenue for her to earn an income. And then Anne, we were talking earlier, has this background as a dietitian and knows a heck of a lot about nutrition and has her own success. Actually, both Darren and Anne have had their own success with 21 Day Fix. So it's been a great program for them. So
before we go, I wanted to make sure that if anybody has any pressing questions that we've answered them. Anyone? Bueller?
I have a question. So Rayanne, you just got your packages. Everybody else started, or are they waiting? Jacqueline, you started.
A while ago.
And Joy?
Got my package yesterday.
Okay.
And Monday, I'm going to meal prep tomorrow.
Okay, so the one thing that I would say about your workout program, and I'm going to post about this weekend, is it's a hard program. Don't think it's going to be easy, Jacqueline. But people, you wouldn't believe the people. There's a woman, I really was so surprised. I would say she must weigh about 300 pounds, who's doing the 21 Day Fix Extreme. She's entered into the contest to do it. And she posted her before pictures yesterday, and she got, I'm sure she's had 1,000 by now, over 500 comments supporting her through this journey. So people who weigh a lot have lost a lot of weight on this program. So it doesn't mean because if you weigh a lot, you can't do it. It just means you need to modify, and you need to follow the modifier. And if you, one of my past challengers, she's actually lost about 50 pounds now, started at 244. So she uses, there's these, the first workout, you have to do these things called surrenders. And you have to kneel down, stand up, kneel down, stand up, kneel down, stand up. And so the modifier gets herself up by pushing on her knee and helping herself up. And honestly, I had to do this past Tuesday. After I finished my cleanse, I was so out of shape. And I was like, oh. But she uses her coffee table to help herself up. She modifies, so think of however you can get through that exercise. And if for whatever reason you can't do that exercise, do one that you just did that you know you can do, and just repeat that instead of the other exercise. But the point is to keep moving and just keep moving forward through the program. And each week you're going to get stronger, and each week you'll be able to do things that you weren't able to do. You'll notice the weights will start getting easier, so you need to up your weights. You'll notice that, there's things I couldn't come close to doing when I started. Burpees, push-ups from my toes. It's been remarkable to see my body change and adapt. I used to always use my knee as an excuse because I had knee surgery when I was 16, and I never could do lunges because of my knee, And doing these programs has strengthened my knee. My knee feels so much, I never have knee pain anymore. And it's because of these exercises, and they're done in a way that you never overexert muscles. Every workout is different. Each day you work on new muscles. And so it's just been, for me, just an amazing discovery when I used to go to the gym and do things and work the same muscles every day and not have any progress. So hopefully you all, just listen to your body. If you start to feel strain in anything, cut back. Another thing I did this past week, there was planks. You have to hold a plank from your toes for a minute. It's the longest minute of your life. I got down to my knees. I dropped to my knees and I did my plank from my knees because I had a shoulder injury about 4 weeks ago. I don't want to hurt my shoulder again. So just do things at where you're at and just know that you're going to improve as you go. So Jacqueline, I'd like to know, how long have you been doing it? What have you noticed? What has been your experience?
I have been doing the food portion for 2 weeks. And the workouts for today would be day 6. I haven't quite gotten to it yet because my kids are hoarding the TV. But I haven't really noticed anything in the pictures because I did more pictures last night and sent them to my mom. I don't personally see anything in the pictures that have changed, but my pants do feel a little bit looser. My kids said that they've noticed a difference. And I feel sexier.
Aww.
I posted that silly video the other day and I legitimately felt like that dude. Like, it kind of felt awesome.
Some coaches tell their challengers to take pictures every week. For me, first of all, pictures are time consuming, and I don't think you're going to see a lot of results in 1 week. And I don't want people to be discouraged. So I would recommend, and that's what I do, is I recommend pictures in the beginning and pictures at the end of the 3 weeks. Or other programs that are like 30 days, I recommend beginning, midpoint, and end. So just don't be discouraged.
I redid them because in the first one, the shirt that I was wearing had far too many wrinkles going on where you couldn't really see my outline. So sorry, Mom, you got a half naked picture.
The best kind.
Yeah, so I'm wearing, my little yoga shorts and my bra.
Yeah.
So in those ones, that's why I redid them, is because you couldn't really see any definition in the first set.
Yeah.
I did my measurements last week, but I'm not entirely sure that they've saved. So I may have to redo them again.
Okay.
Which is a little discouraging because I think I've lost some, not inches, but.
Where did you put them in the app?
Not the app. I did them on the actual Beachbody website, but when I go back in there to look at them, look at what they were there, I can't find them.
Oh.
So I think they didn't save.
Okay.
But I posted yesterday about my blood pressure, and that's the biggest change that I've noticed is I feel healthier and my blood pressure has dropped significantly.
Wow. That's great. Are you on medication for it?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Nope. Just this diet.
Okay.
I've been overweight for most of my life and I'm sick of it. I feel like I'm wasting the best years of my life being overweight and not looking good.
Yeah.
So I want to do something about it.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Hey, Jacqueline?
My mother's been narking at me.
Since you've been doing this longer than anybody else with the shake, do you feel like you've got more energy, like you sleep better? Do you feel any change like that?
I definitely feel like I have more energy, but I don't know if that's necessarily the shake or if it's the working out. I do know that the first video that I did, the cardio fix, killed me. It took me like 3 or 4 days to recover from that, and then I was able to start with the rest of the workouts. I couldn't walk. But after I've on day 6 now of the workouts, and I'm a little sore here and there, but overall it's manageable. I'm not so sore that I don't feel like I can function, which is good. It reminds me that I'm making progress, but it also, keeps me humble enough to, watch what I'm doing.
Okay, so that reminded me, there is this, not to be like a product pusher or anything, but this thing is awesome. So Beachbody does this performance line of products, and it reminded me, Jacqueline, because you talked about how sore you are.
Mm-hmm.
If sometimes you're so sore you don't want to do your next workout, this you drink within 30 minutes. Somebody said it tastes like a Frosty. It's really doesn't. Maybe it tastes a little bit like it, but the consistency, it's basically you mix it with 8 ounces of water and shake it. It's just like a milk. It's just like chocolate milk. And they also have an orange flavor. If you don't like chocolate, they have an orange flavor. But this, I have a video on it that I can post in the group, or I might have even posted in the group. I know I mentioned it in the group, but I have taken this all week after my workout, and I would have been so sore because I haven't done the workouts for a while. You're supposed to drink it after an intense workout, and you really there's a little soreness. Like when I did the lower fix for the first time, I couldn't sit on the toilet. I was like, ugh, like I had to put my hand between my legs to get myself up off the toilet.
I had to brace myself on the bathtub next to me.
Yeah. And going up and down stairs, if there wasn't a banister, I was helpless. So this Recover, it basically has whatever it has. It puts something. It reduces the lactic acid in your muscles, and the soreness is caused from a buildup of lactic acid in your muscles as they're recovering. So this Recover is it's called Recover. There's other things too. There's a Energize, which you drink beforehand, and then there's a Recharge, which you can drink at night, an hour before you go to bed, and that helps you sleep better. So there's a few different products. I use Energize. I have Recharge. I've only used it a couple of times. Of all of them, to me, this is the most important when you're starting out. And I just like to tell people in the beginning, because I know they're really sore in the beginning. And I don't drink it when I do a yoga or an easier workout. It's when I do like the more intense. The cardio fix is the workout I hate the most. I'm like, I die. I'm not a cardio girl. I do not like that workout.
I got halfway through it and couldn't breathe. I had to stop halfway through that one.
Yeah. But Dirty 30 is good. Do you like Dirty 30?
Haven't done it yet.
Yeah. That's a cardio, but I like it. But anyways, okay, well, I didn't mean to go talk about workouts, but I think this is great. I'm so excited about the group, and I'm so excited. I like to say, as a coach, I get to have a front seat on everybody's live stream. I sit there and celebrate, rejoice, and see what you guys go through and see what you're made of. Because a lot of it is this kind of getting past that mental. And so we're all here for you. So hopefully in 3 weeks. And, I have another group starting in July, so you can roll right into that, continue to do your program. Because for most people, this is not just a 3 or 4 week journey. It's a life change. If you like Shakeology, there's a discount. So, you definitely would want to take advantage of that. You get 25% off all the products. So that's a real, that's why I signed up as a coach. And then look at me now. All right. Okay, great. Thanks, guys. And have a wonderful Saturday. And we'll do this again next week. We won't honestly go through the whole meal plan. We'll just kind of compare notes and see how the week went, and that will be what we do next week. Okay?
Hey, Lori.
Yes.
I need to chat with you privately about preparation for this upcoming week.
Okay. All right. So if everybody else wants to sign off, we'll stay on. Ann and I will stay on.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
I'll stop recording.